For over 75 years, Guernsey Farms Dairy has been producing the highest quality dairy products in Michigan. This family-owned and operated business was built on making the best tasting milk and ice cream using only the freshest ingredients from local farms. Guernsey Farms Dairy was awarded Best Chocolate Milk in North America at the World Dairy Expo, and their butter pecan ice cream was rated best by People magazine. Quality taste isn't expensive, it's priceless. Give your family the best. Taste the Guernsey difference.
All week long, we're talking about the magic is in believing. 48 minutes for a lifetime right now. And the magic is in believing on every play. Let's take it to them. Let's come back with a victory. Play the first 24 minutes with all your heart and for all your teammates. Let's go do it.
Shamrocks on second down 10. This might be a pass. Taylor will throw. Has a man open. Brady Pinkout, touchdown. Tom Mach really has the program going great at Catholic Central.
Call leads them up, power formation. They'll dive toward the end zone, and in for the TD is John Spolsky. The Shamrocks of Detroit Catholic Central win their fourth state football championship. 1979, 1990, 1992, and now 1995 titles.
Detroit Catholic Central wins their 10th state championship in school history, 31-21 the final. Shamrock's first state title in 6 years.
They did everything that you asked them to do, and we really wanted to try to call a good game to give them the opportunity to win.
Mac is going to go down in history as one of the best high school coaches in Michigan and one of the best in the United States, in my opinion.
Legends, Tom Mach, is presented by Guernsey Farms Dairy. Quality taste isn't expensive, it's priceless. Taste the Guernsey difference. Additional sponsors include Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Detroit Catholic Central High School, teaching goodness, discipline, and knowledge since 1928. Boise Cascade Building Materials Distribution, distributors of Trex, James Hardy, and Grace Ice and Water Shield. The Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table. And Joe's Produce. Life is what you make it at Joe's. Welcome to another State Champs Sports Network production of Legends. Today, Detroit Catholic Central head coach Tom Mach. We take an inside look at the fourth all-time winningest high school football coach in Michigan history, a program that over the last 38 years, while Tom has been at the helm, just 2 losing seasons. Incredible. Over the next half hour, you'll hear from Tom, his family, and those who Coach Mach helped mold into men. You're watching Legends, Tom Mach.
Everyone will look at how many games he won and how many state championships he won, and that's all fine, but you've talked to him. That's not what's most important to him. I think it's bringing a boy, sending him off a man, teaching kids how to win the right way, how to do things the right way.
Tom Mach was born in 1947 in Chicago, Illinois. His father worked for Chevrolet, and soon after, his family moved to the Metro Detroit area and settled in Berkeley. Tom's love of sport came at an early age. It was a different time. Decades before the video game would be invented, Tom and his friends played sports, sun up to sundown.
If it was baseball season, we were playing baseball. If it was basketball season, we were playing basketball. And if it was football season, we were playing football. Now we played hockey in the street, and we did everything, you know. At night we played Giant, which is a tag game.
Tom's love of football began in middle school, Berkeley's Our Lady of La Salette. Tom Mach was quickly growing another passion, his faith.
It gave us a base to base our whole life on, you know, so, you know, we have a, you know, something that we really believe in, and no matter what happens, we're always going to believe in that.
That trust and desire guided Tom to join Seminary High School. He was going to be a priest. He went to Sacred Heart Major Seminary in Detroit, and it didn't matter they didn't have organized traditional high school sports. This is where he was supposed to be.
It's a great atmosphere, you know. You got people that are striving to be the best version of themselves that they can. Sacred Heart was a perfect fit, you know, if that's what I wanted to choose to be in the end.
There was one big problem, however. Catholic priests are forever bachelors.
Although I loved the lifestyle and I thought it was a great way to live your life, I also wanted to have a family, and I was lucky enough to marry a wonderful woman, so have a couple great kids, and you know, so that was really what I wanted to do. And then I thought, well, the next best thing is stay in sports.
Tom Mach was accepted at Wayne State, but just as a student, mind you. He wanted to play football, but no one had ever seen him play. He was able to convince the head coach to give him a shot to walk on.
I don't know what I said exactly, but he must have seen like that I was really intent on doing what I was doing, you know, what I was asking him, you know. I told him, I know it wasn't my fault that I couldn't play football in high school, you know, so we just didn't have it.
Taking advantage of every opportunity, Tom Mach dedicated himself to football. Not a big guy, but he could hit. A tough defensive back, he soon earned the nickname Crack.
We were playing in Chicago Circle and made a great hit on a fullback one time, and that knocked the fullback out of the game, you know, and we broke through and I hit him, and that got me really fired up, you know, it's like as a player, you know. So I always tell our kids, like, doesn't matter how big you are, as long as you tackle correctly and you use your leverage, you know, you can hit a bigger man and knock him down.
He knocked down a lot of opponents. In fact, he earned the coveted Hardest Hitter Award. After college, it was time to make a decision.
All of a sudden, see, you couldn't play anymore, so you're looking at your life and you're thinking, geez, I can't play football anymore now, what am I going to do? You know, it's like, I wasn't too keen on business or anything like that, you know, but I thought, well, the next best thing would be to coach.
Tom was hired by Dick Comar at Southgate St. Thomas Aquinas. Although Tom was young, he immediately loved his coaching style.
Just the way he worked with young players and his coaching with them, you know, he wasn't, you know, he'd yell, but it's not a mean yell. It's a, hey, let's get going stuff, and very positive. He's very positive with the players, and we knew we had a good one. There wasn't any question about him being a great coach right then, and some of the things that he had done was just very positive. So, hey, we were excited to have him.
Tom served as defensive backs coach while at Aquinas for 5 years. During that time, the Raider defense shut out teams 14 times. Tom was also the head track coach, so successful, one year he was named Coach of the Year. Ready for a new challenge, his brothers played hockey at Detroit Catholic Central. He heard they were looking for a new head football coach. Tom Mach got an interview.
I thought, you know, I'm not going to hire me. I'm just a couple-year coach at Aquinas High School, you know. They got their pick of anybody, you know, at Catholic Central, you know, and so, but I did apply for the interview, and I went in and I bought a book. It was about a 55-page book or something like that outlined everything that I wanted to do in football and all my philosophies. And I get a phone call, you know. All of a sudden they were talking to me about coaching, like, you know, we'd like to hire you as a coach. You know, I just put my hand over the receiver and I looked over at Dave and I said, you're not going to believe who this is. He said, who is it? And I said, it's Catholic Central. And he goes, uh-oh, now you got to make a decision. And I said, you know, wow. Like, then I said to myself, in my mind, I said, do I really want to work this hard, that hard? And I knew how much work it would be. And I said, well, yeah, I'm going to go for it.
We had gone 2-6 in 1975, which was unacceptable, so it was inevitable that we were going to get a new coach. And we just heard that there was a young version of Vince Lombardi over at Southgate Aquinas that was heading our way, and it was Coach Mach.
It would be the beginning of a new era, a perfect fit. Tom Mach and Detroit Catholic Central, when Legends returns.
Bring the family to Guernsey Farms Dairy restaurant for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Come enjoy our home-style menu developed by Guernsey's new executive chef, Jason Mammon. Experience his hearty homemade soups, specialty salads, pastas, craft burgers, and famous roasted chicken dinners. And after your meal, treat the family to our old-fashioned ice cream parlor featuring Guernsey's premium ice cream. Visit the Guernsey Farms Dairy restaurant located on Novi Road just south of 9 Mile. Taste the Guernsey difference.
We want you. We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anybody. We want students who are curious and driven, students with a passion for hard work and good times, students who will move right in and shoot for the best that Lawrence Tech Southfield campus has to offer. So if you believe that everything is possible and that possible is everything, we want you at LTU.
Teaching goodness, discipline, and knowledge since 1928, the Basilian Fathers at Detroit Catholic Central High School have worked with a talented and dedicated lay staff to develop the body, mind, and spirit of each of our students, encouraging them to be all that God intended. We invite you to visit our beautiful campus for our open house on Sunday, November 9th from noon to 4 p.m. For more information, please visit the admissions page on CatholicCentral.net. Detroit Catholic Central High School. Become the tradition.
At Joe's, local means something special to us. We started as a small farm and roadside stand way back in 1945. For over 3 generations, we've done business with over 12 other family farms right here in Michigan. Because local isn't just about food or taste, it's about family and tradition, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
Life is what you make it at Joe's. We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table. When we sit down together, we share our expertise. You've got a legal problem, we know you need relief. Advice that you can trust, that's why people come to us. We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table.
Welcome back to Legends, Tom Mach. We've learned already about Tom's time in the seminary, his hard-hitting days at Wayne State, and his first coaching experience at Southgate Aquinas. Not even 30, Tom was now about to get the opportunity of a lifetime, his first head coaching gig, a little Catholic school known as Detroit Catholic Central. In 1976, a first-time head coach took over Detroit Catholic Central, a team that historically was one of the best teams in the state. But coming off a 2-6 season, a new work ethic would be required. It began at the first camp.
We had a version of Vince Lombardi. We had someone who was a dynamic leader who pushed us harder than we wanted to go, but we were willing to follow him. He was dialed in. Coach Mach is an excellent. He walks the walk. A lot of people talk about a lot of integrity, character. Coach Mach gives you a personal standard to live up to. He lives that standard. He expects you to live up to it.
Catholic Central's biggest rival was Birmingham Brother Rice. Head coach Al Fracassa was hired by Rice in 1969. His Warriors had beaten CC 5 of the first 7 times he faced the Shamrocks. Because of the reputation Tom earned while in college, Fracassa understood the new Shamrock sheriff was tough.
When he played at Wayne State University, one of my friends was a top custodian there, and he knew Tommy and said that he was probably the toughest defensive player that he has ever seen on the field. Well, his kids play like Tom because he coaches tough. He wants his kids to be tough. He wants his kids to be the best that they can be. Let's put it that way. And they catch on real quick. That's why Catholic Central is so successful every year.
In '76, Catholic Central went 7-1. Just a few years later, in 1979, preseason #1 in the state, 12-0, ranked 8th nationally, and of course, state champions. 9 more state titles later, the tradition has never changed.
39 years later, we're still doing the same things. You know, we're not doing anything that's that much different than what we did back then. If you visualize something and you have faith in it and you never give up, that you can accomplish anything you want. We started that way back in 1976, you know. What the mind can conceive, the body can achieve was our slogan of our whole program. The kids hear this over and over and over again, and hopefully by the time that they're seniors, you know, they have bought into this enough to, they're now leaders, and they're leading the juniors, and the juniors are leading the sophomores, and the freshmen are seeing all this. They know where we've been, they know where we're going, and so they want to be a part of it. And that's a great thing.
For 4 decades, Tom has remained a constant at Detroit Catholic Central. There was never a reason to leave. He's only been a part of just 2 losing seasons. Success is no secret.
It was intense. He's probably one of the most ethical men that I've ever met, and he's very detail-oriented. He wants you to be a good person off the field before anything. He teaches you a lot of life lessons about what it takes to be successful.
I've been very, very lucky in my coaching staff, guys that have been with me for 20 years and more, you know, and kids at Catholic Central, I think, you know, I wouldn't trade them for anybody. They will go through a brick wall to get the job done, so, you know, you can't, that's why I never left. I mean, where could you go and find people that will do this, you know? They're great kids, they're gonna be successful someday, you know? They're gonna be successful whatever they do, you know, and it's hard to, you can't leave what you know is a success story, you know, just ready to happen.
When we come back, Mac's legacy from the players, coaches, and his family. We'll also learn his signature play. You're watching State Champs Legends, Tom Mach.
For over 75 years, Guernsey Farms Dairy has been producing the highest quality dairy products in Michigan. This family-owned and operated business was built on making the best tasting milk and ice cream using only the freshest ingredients from local farms. Guernsey Farms Dairy was awarded Best Chocolate Milk in North America at the World Dairy Expo, and their butter pecan ice cream was rated best by People magazine. Quality taste isn't expensive, it's priceless. Give your family the best. Taste the Guernsey difference.
At Joe's, local means something special to us. We started as a small farm and roadside stand way back in 1945. For over 3 generations, we've done business with over 12 other family farms right here in Michigan. Because local isn't just about food or taste, it's about family and tradition, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
Life is what you make it at Joe's.
We want you. We are LTU, Lawrence Technological University, and is one of the nation's best schools for engineering, architecture, and technology. We don't want just anybody. We want students who are curious and driven, students who want to change the world through technology, science, and design. So if you believe that possible is everything, we want you at LTU.
I'm Father Dennis Nelke. I'm the new principal of Catholic Central High School. Catholic Central has a great history. It's my primary goal to further those traditions, to continue to make Catholic Central the premier Catholic high school in the state of Michigan. Become part of the tradition, become part of the family, become part of the brotherhood.
Welcome back to Legends. I'm Lauren Plant. For nearly 40 years, there has been one consistent voice on the Detroit Catholic Central sidelines, Tom Mach. Nearly 350 wins and climbing, 19 regional championships, 10 state titles, year in and year out. CC's identity is his identity. Line up and get after it. Mac's impact has shaped the lives of so many, even some who've made it all the way to the NFL. Tom Mach has coached several kids who've gone on to have successful college careers. Several earn the opportunities to play on Sundays. Mike Martin is one such former Shamrock. A former Michigan Wolverine, Mike was a third-round pick of the Tennessee Titans in 2012. Coach Mach means the world to Mike.
I respect him to the utmost. I mean, he's the epitome of just hard work, blue collar, going to work every day. You know, the guy isn't flashy at all. He keeps to himself, and he's a grinder. He was a big building block for where I'm at now. I always try to get back and show him that appreciation and stuff, and I hope that he knows that. And he would always say, you know, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can do anything. He would always kind of plug that Bible verse and, you know, say that to us every now and then. And for me, that equates to everything in my life. I mean, I remember that, and he might not even know that I remember that, and I kind of keep that with me. But that's one of the things that, just one example on how he still to this day affects me and what I do and stuff. So it means a lot to me.
1977 grad Jeff Wiska played at Michigan State, drafted by the New York Giants, had National Football League stints with Cleveland and Miami.
I didn't start a game until the 5th game my junior year, and he inspired me. He made me believe in myself. I was a little bit insecure, and he has a very good way of pushing you, challenging you. Next to my father, Coach Mach is the largest male role model in my life, because when you're done playing the game of football, he gives you a standard to live up to, and I think that's the greatest gift any teacher, any coach, any mentor can give his pupil.
Whether helping kickstart a career that would wind up in the NFL or in the college ranks, Tom Mach's influence on so many is undeniable. The message has always remained the same.
He was typical Coach Mach every week. You know, we're going to get better, we're going to improve, we're going to learn from our mistakes and go forward, and we're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. So Coach Mach was great. Being a captain for him my senior year, he was taught me a lot of skills, obviously on the field and off the field, how to be a pro person, how to conduct yourself, all the coaches. It was great to play for him, to realize how hard you do have to work.
And run the ball they did, and run the ball they do. There is one play you could say is Mach's middle name, simply referred to as the wham.
Just off tackle, right or left. We call it 36 wham or 35 wham.
He tells his kids, we can't lose a yard on this. And you know what? I don't think he has lost a yard.
You need 1 yard. I mean, the cheerleaders know what you're about to run here. You know, everybody knows. But we seem to get it every time. I mean, you know, the guys across from you, they know what you're running. You could point at the play, you still know. You know, that's pretty cool, man.
3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Everyone knows we're running the wham.
Some people jump into the trends and try to do this and try to do that, and they don't have the kids, they don't have the personnel, they don't have the knowledge, and they don't have the heart for it. You know, we do what we do. Running the wham is what we do, and that's what we're going to do first. And if we can do it, we'll keep doing it. If we can't, we're going to move on to something else.
No story of Tom Mach would be complete without his family. Tom met his wife Lynn while coaching at Southgate Aquinas. Coach Komar noticed something was going on with Tom after one game in particular.
I saw Tom over there with this woman, and he proposes at the 50-yard line after the game, after we had won. And I told him, you know what, you could have done it before the game because you knew we were going to win.
Happily married for over 4 decades, the sacrifices the wife of a football coach makes is impossible to measure. It's the support, however, that makes the man. The CC family has always reciprocated.
I've heard so many stories from past players. He's had so many letters and thank you notes, and I know he makes a difference.
Early on in their marriage, Tom and Lynn decided they'd like to adopt. When they got the call, it was for twins.
They said there's 2 of them. You know, do you mind taking 2? And I said, that's great.
It's a blessing, you know. God had a plan for us, for my brother and I, and this was it. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, it was, you know, it could have ended up anywhere. Could have ended up anywhere. But I ended up here. Couldn't have asked for anything better.
Mike and Joe have been by their dad's side since day one. Both got to play for their father at Catholic Central, and now both coach alongside Tom. Full circle.
One of the things that he expresses to all of his coaches and his players and the parents is that we're going to coach each kid as if he were your own son. And I consider living proof of the fact that that is an absolute adage that he has lived up to his whole career.
To have your sons play for you and they still like you and they got a chance to win 2 state championships and now they're coaching with me. That whole scenario is probably the greatest thing that I could say that I got from coaching.
And to those fighting alongside Tom on the front lines, also considered family. A blend of what has always been infused with young blood.
I think he could have kept his staff intact and they're still going to do a great job and do what they do, but it's always about relating with the kids and seeing how you can get the most out of them, and I think he's done a great job at doing that and continue to build our culture at Catholic Central within the football program. Bringing people back that care and that have been involved and that went to battle for him, I think that's definitely crucial to building this program to what it can be.
He's an awesome coach, he really is. He's somebody that you can you know, look up to and respect. You know, he does a great job. I still think about him all the time to this day. And now that I'm back on the staff, it's pretty cool to be, you know, having played for him and now, you know, coaching under him.
However long Tom Mach decides to coach at Detroit Catholic Central, he will always be the measuring stick on class, faith, and success. An example for the thousands of young men he mentored.
I really can't repay him for everything he's done. Whether we're just talking about life or football or just having a couple laughs, he's always been a great man in my life, great mentor, and a great person.
The world tells you one thing, religion tells you another thing. You know, be wise in your choice is what I would like to say. You know, choose the right path in what you think makes you successful.
Legends. Tom Mach is presented by Guernsey Farms Dairy. Quality taste isn't expensive, it's priceless. Taste the Guernsey difference. Additional sponsors include Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Detroit Catholic Central High School, teaching goodness, discipline, and knowledge since 1928. Boise Cascade Building Materials Distribution, distributors of Trex, James Hardy, and Grace Ice and Water Shield. The Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table. And Joe's Produce. Life is what you make it at Joe's.